Thank you, Randy. Randy purposely told my most unfavorite joke. But that's okay. It got some laughs. So happy fall, y'all. I'm not from here, but I've learned to say y'all. And fall here in Asheville is beautiful. But I recently got back from a trip to Maine. Is there anyone from Maine here? Oh, I see a few hands. Anyone visited Maine? Does anyone know where Maine is on a map of the United States? Okay, I think we got almost everybody. So I love Maine. It was really beautiful. I went during the leaf peeper season. But the people in Maine, I don't know, that northeast hospitality, I guess. I noticed that all the people in Maine were self-absorbed, self-centered, self-obsessed narcissists. But I thought to myself, well, Julia, you're a little self-absorbed and self-centered and self-obsessed. So you know what I did? I bought the shirt. Yep. So this is what I got in Maine. They have it on their bumper stickers. They have it on their flags. They have it everywhere. So, and no one loves me more than I love me. And I think my husband can attest to that. So today, the shirt was so perfect to wear today because I'm going to tell you some amazing shit about myself. Self-defecating humor, my favorite kind. I have some advice to you guys for these troubling times, and that is turn down the news, turn up the booze. So if you can remember that little poem, that'd be great. Yeah, I am a fan of brown juice, and by brown juice, I mean bourbon. I love bourbon. Any bourbon drinkers in the audience? I am what they call a bourbon aficionado. That's a fancy term for someone who drinks too much bourbon. But I'm not an alcoholic because I don't go to their meetings at all, so stay away from the meetings. Yeah, my doctor thinks I have a problem, though, because in my last urine sample, he found a maraschino cherry. If I don't show up at the bar at 5 o'clock, my bartender calls my home for a wellness check. So I even teach a class here on the women of whiskey. Anybody in here taking my class? I see a few hands. Yeah, one of the things I learned in that research is that women were the very first to invent beer, and they were the first to make wine, and they were the first to invent stills so we could have distilled liquor, or a distilled liver, as the case may be. And I told my husband that, and he said, without women, we wouldn't need to drink. I said, it was because of men we invented it in the first place, so. Yeah, in this Women of Whiskey class, it ends with a bourbon tasting at my house, which is really fun. I recently taught the science of happiness. I also have that end with a bourbon tasting at my house. Yeah, so, ooh, there's an emergency. Amber alert. Maybe it's time to drink. I don't know. It's getting close to that 5 o'clock hour. So you can probably see I'm hot, and I had to wear this jacket. So hold on, I'm going to take it off. Hey, that's all I'm taking off. Okay, yeah. So I am hot. I'm always hot. I'm especially hot in bed, but not what you're thinking. So I think the temperature is perfect at night when I go to bed if I can see my breath. In fact, the only thing that my husband and I fight about is the temperature of our bedroom when we go to bed. Every night he's playing with the knobs, and it's not what you think. He's turning up the thermostat, but I fixed that. I changed the PIN code on our thermostat. I set it to our anniversary, and there is no way he'll remember that. Yeah, so let's see. Every night, he is buried under 5 blankets. He's got a muffler on, a full-face ski mask, and I am there on top of the bed, stark naked in the starfish position. I don't know if you women know that, but it's somehow cooler. I've got the window cracked. I'm under 2 fans, and I still have trouble sleeping. But the other morning, after I finally fell asleep, I woke up, and he was roasting hot dogs over my crotch. So we went ahead and we bought a temperature-controlled mattress. I set my side to a crisp 65 degrees, like a mountain stream. He has his side set to 90 degrees, like the surface of the sun. Now, instead of arguing about the house thermostat, we argue about the microclimate of our mattress. But appliances are getting smart these days. I get a text message from my dryer that the clothes are almost ready for me to fold, or it will tell me if I've left the refrigerator door open. The smart appliance I really don't like, though, is my scale, my bathroom scale. It talks to me, which is so rude. The other day I got on and it said, "1 at a time, please." So I have always been a big girl, even when I was young. And by 6th grade, I was already my full height, 5 feet, 12 inches tall. That's 6 feet, but that sounds too tall for a girl. I was probably one of the only girls in 6th grade that had to wear a bra. So in 5th grade, before I got the bra, one of the things I noticed is that when I was out playing hopscotch, the boys would gather around. So I put out a tip jar. But I think we should all embrace the bodies that we have now, because last year I spent the whole year desperately trying to get back to the weight that I was when I used to think I was fat. So it only makes sense to like ourselves as we do now. The good news is, though, I can still easily slip into the earrings I wore in high school. So you know you're old when you sit around with friends here in Nashville and you talk about joints. And I'm not talking about the kind you roll and smoke, about the kind you replace. New knees and hips and shoulders. It's all that. The other thing that affects us when we're old is gravity, especially us women with larger tops. I don't know about you, but my tatas are sinking faster than the Titanic. My best friend in college, she had flowers tattooed on her breasts, and now she has long stem roses. I wondered why my knees were always sore. It's because my boobs were knocking on them. The other day I was downtown and a guy drove by and rolled down his window and he said, "Show me your tits." So I just lifted my skirt. It was easy. So with big boobs, you'd think you'd have cleavage, but somehow with age, my breasts are in different zip codes, and I got the whole state of Kansas in between them. So, as most of you women know, the only way to combat that is with an underwire bra. It is a torture device. It's a personal Guantanamo Bay for your breasts. It's designed for maximum discomfort and an interrogation of your sanity by the time you take it off at the end of the day. I made this exception today, but I usually don't wear bras on Sundays. I call it the Saggeth. But my friends recommended that I go to a very special bra store for a professional fitting. Well, I tell you, when I told my husband I was going to do that, he said, "How do I apply for that job?" And I said, "It's not just about touching the girls. You got to find the perfect form and fit and function." So I went to the store, and they took one look at me, and the woman at the front desk said, "Get Olga." Olga actually holds the mechanical bull riding championship in Nebraska, Kansas, and South Dakota. So I was standing awkwardly, topless in the room, trying to get my girls to come up front and be present for the fitting. Olga comes in with a bevy of bras in her hand, and she just dives in. She is like shoveling in the boobs into the bra like she's shoveling snow in Buffalo. And then she tells me at the end, she says, just lean down and shake them on in. So I did that, and happy to say I walked away with a fine-fitting bra. I'm afraid what will happen if I ever take it off. Whatever happens, I want to thank all of you for letting me get this off my chest.
Julia Loughran. Beautiful.